love the open wheel cars, and back then it was coupes and sedans and stuff like that. And I just always wanted to drive. Those guys were my heroes, and I was just going to be a race driver. Didn't really know that there was a much bigger world outside of Northeast modified racing, and didn't care. It would have been modifieds, and then, I worked my way up through street stocks and late models, and then the sportsman, we could run kind of a modified car, but smaller motor and tires. And then finally made the modified deal. And when I got there, I really got serious about wanting to go IndyCar racing. That's what I wanted to do.
No kidding.
I wanted to drive. I wanted to drive Indy cars, and I still want to drive Indy cars. If Roger Penske or Chip Ganassi or any of those guys are listening, I'd like.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, still like to do that. But that was my goal. Really, my dream was to race at Indianapolis, and that's honestly why that I took the job with Roger Penske in the IROC series.
At what point did IROC come into the picture?
We were running up and down the Northeast there with the modifieds, and we were doing okay. Not doing great. Just didn't have a lot of money, but had a couple sponsors, and we were doing okay. And in 1983, we won some races and almost won the championship at Wall Stadium. And we were kind of picked the next year to come back and win it and do. We were really hitting our stride, and I heard that they were moving the IROC series to Tinton Falls, New Jersey. And I walked in there one day, and a lady named Barbara Signori was in there, and she hired me, and I told her I wouldn't go racing full time. I'd come and work on the IROC cars, and Barbara and Jay Signori were, that was quite a day for me because her husband Jay became an incredible mentor to me. But I thought the whole time, I'm going to get to Roger Penske. Roger's going to see me drive.
This was going to be your connection.
Find out who I am. Me and Rick Mears are going to be teammates, and we're just going to win a bunch of races. But Jay taught me so much, and I did test the IROC cars, which was an honor. I got to be on track with Unser and Mears and Andretti and people like that. It was incredible experience. But just didn't get a chance to drive RP's IndyCar, even though I straight up asked him one day. It was kind of funny. We were traveling somewhere, and I was learning so much that I didn't even know how much I was learning from Jay and from Mr. Penske. And we were flying to Michigan one day, and Roger's always, man, he's on what do you want to do, where you want to be, what you can do, and he said to me, what do you want to do? What do you want to be in 5 years? I said, like to be driving your Indy car. And and I think Jay was taken back, and even Roger looked at me, he's like, I think that was the first time I've seen him speechless. He said, well, maybe we can do something else. Maybe we can get you an ARCA car, we can get you an ASA car, because he knew I was working hard for them, and we were testing the cars. And, I look back on that now and think, geez, he probably saved my life by not putting me in an Indy car.
There wasn't a person in the sport who didn't covet a win in the inaugural Brickyard 400 at Indy. What do you remember about that week?
I think it was just special. As I said, that was really, really special for me because that's where I wanted to go. And when I walked into Indy, and still do, I'm going to be there next Wednesday, and the hair stands up on the back of my neck. It's just an incredible place. When you walk through that gate to Gasoline Alley, you really, it's very humbling, and you have to be very respectful of what's going on at that place and those who've gone before you. So it was amazing to me. Went there really prepared. Called A.J. Foyt, Pancho Carter, Wayne Leary, who was Dan Gurney's crew chief. Got all the guys I knew to talk about what. Tell me about Indy. Tell me what is it. What do we got to do? What do we do? And we built a car, a special car at Hendrick for that race. It had really cool aerodynamic brake ducts and everything on the bottom. It had a rear sway bar, which was really, things just weren't done. And the setup that we had in it was so totally different from everything else. And we went there, and Jeff was quick with it. And they had, the guys had told me, do not screw yourself up, practicing too late in the afternoon and, all these things because the track changes. And I remember I think we drew a late number or an early number. I can't remember what it was then, but qualifying, we should have sat on the pole, ended up third, and then didn't even practice happy hour. And that freaked people out. They're like, why aren't these guys practicing? Because I knew what I needed to know. I knew when the race was going to be run. And, practice was 3 or 4 hours after that. And everybody had warned me about don't screw yourself up with this racetrack. And we went in there the next day and we took the lead and had a great race with Ernie Irvan. There was a lot of controversy in that race, the Bodine brothers and
Yeah.
the Hoosier tires, and it just was incredible. And at the end of the day, we came out of there as winners, and that was only our second win. And my biggest memory is just standing there watching 350,000 people all the way around that place, on the TV monitor, just standing up cheering, and I've to this day never been able to experience that again.